Okay, it's a quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So today's video is another one about basically what I've learned about life in Britain in my 48 years. Take it or leave it. So if you live in Britain, this might be the most brutally honest 10 or 15 minutes or whatever the video turns out to be that you'll hear this year. It'll be raw, no nonsense, reflective, hopefully a mix of wit, grit, and truth bombs, and take it or leave it. But hopefully, whatever happens, it's relatable. So, I don't believe for 1 minute that in Britain, in the UK at the moment, that it's laziness that's holding people back. I really don't. I believe that people want to work. I believe that people want to better themselves, that they want to level up, to skill up for the betterment of themselves and also their family and loved ones. I fully do believe that. I also believe that many people have tried or are trying, and many people are getting kicked back and knocked down, and it's not their fault. Now, obviously, there's a small percentage that are contrary to that, and those, well, that's always going to be there, I guess, but I think it's a very small number. And the reason is, it's not laziness. I think it's the systems with which we're working in. It's the construct of everything around us that is pretty much irrevocably broken. Think about it as being a machine. There are many cogs that make up the machine for the machine to work, and as each one of those cogs breaks, the machine becomes less efficient and eventually stops working. So one of those cogs might be our healthcare system, the other one might be our public transport system, the other one might be local government, the other one might be our MPs or whatever, and mismanagement of funds. All these different things are broken, and the way that they're being dealt with is not really addressing any of the problems. So I think that is a big part of it. It's a big part of why people may feel despondent, why they may feel like it's not worth trying, if that's the case. And I think for many, the fantasy of hard work paying off at this point is completely debunked. I mean, let's face it, the reality of burnout culture is absolutely here. It's here to stay. And for me, I know that I've got home from work just from my 9 to 5 on the odd days, and I feel absolutely spent. I've got no energy to deal with my partner, to deal with life, or to deal with anything else that happens after I get home. I just feel shot. So you do what most people do. You take a load of vitamins, you have a cup of coffee, you stimulate yourself, with fake energy, Red Bull, whatever it takes, and you try and plug on to do your side hustle after work, to deal with your kids, to deal with your family, to make extra income, to level yourself up, to get a better job, whatever it might be. But all of that fake extra energy that you're using to buy this time, you've got to pay the fiddler at some point, and there is a come down, there's a kickback, there's what you've spent you need to put back. So it just hits you harder when you do finally recoil with burnout, and this is a very real thing that affects hundreds of thousands of people, myself included. Certainly. I also think that community is absolutely vanishing in Britain. And it's not just from when I was a kid. Obviously, I'm old, 48. For me, community was something that was a thing in the mid-80s. It was very prevalent. You'd have neighbour parties, your neighbours would pull together and buy food and all the rest of it and then share it out. And the neighbours, they weren't in each other's pockets. It wasn't busybodying, but the neighbours were there for each other. They were supporting each other. Neighbours were neighbourly. They weren't just strangers that moved in that you might never speak to in 5 years. And that has simply vanished in Britain, and it's really weird. It's almost like that we've lost a sense of community, certainly nowadays, to screens, online shopping, and speed. I don't see any of my neighbours in the local shops, whereas when I was a kid, I certainly used to. And yeah, it's really weird. I think screens have taken over, and it's for the betterment in terms of speed and in terms of just having things there at your fingertips, maybe saving time. It's great for that. But I think from a less obvious point of view, it destroys community. It's destroyed local shops. The evidence of this is in the high street, and high streets are obviously dying a death because of online shopping. Online shopping with it has brought convenience, but the inconvenience of online shopping is that we're all inclined to spend more money because we're not spending real cash. So it's probably making us more skint at the convenience of just having stuff. And also at the same time, it's distancing ourselves from our local communities, which certainly in my area is absolutely noticeable. And this obviously has an impact on family. It has an impact on health. You're not getting out as much. You're doing more of your stuff online. Probably has an impact on peace of mind. You know, you don't know your neighbours. You don't know who's living next door to you. That kind of thing. And it's, I guess, from a work point of view, it's a mix of career versus consumption. And yeah, it's prevalent everywhere. And I think ambition is being stifled as well. Ambition has become more about survival rather than aspiration. And I think these broken systems that we're working within, they're getting so bad that all of these different areas are suffering. And it's going to take a lot to fix it. I don't even know if it is fixable. I don't even know if it is fixable. I did a video a while back on the working class, on the middle class being eroded, almost gone. And really the same is happening to the working class. The working class are just becoming the poor. You know, working class used to mean something. It used to mean you were genuine, you were hardworking, that people could rely on you. And now it doesn't. Working class just means that you go and do your grind, you keep yourself to yourself, and screw you, Jack, I'm okay. And we've lost that sense of what it means to be honest working class. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I'd like to think that building solidarity, awareness, and action through truth can kind of repel this, fix the machine and turn it all around. Is it possible? I don't know. I don't know. I know that it's always difficult, and that life in general, life in general does feel at the moment like it's very much an uphill struggle, and I don't think it's unique to the UK. I do speak to people, obviously through my socials and everything else, that are in very much the same position that I am, albeit living in Europe. I've got a couple of friends that live in North America and Canada. And Canada's mental. Compared to the UK, apparently Canada's really bad at the moment. But yeah, I can only comment on what I experienced really firsthand. But I do hope, I really do hope, even though I plan to leave the UK in the next 2.5-ish years, I do hope that the UK can turn itself around for the sake of my family that still live here, for the sake of my friends that I'm going to leave behind. I really do hope that things can switch up and the UK can fix the machine and get back a sense of community, a sense of being, a sense of being there for your fellow human. And we seem to have lost that. We seem to have lost our way. And it's a shame. As I said, it's a real shame. And it wasn't like this when I was in my youth. It wasn't like this really when I was in my 20s. But then sometime around the middle of the noughts, it just kind of started to change. And I think now it's that kind of, if you think of the change as being a compounding downhill slide, it started off like that, and the last 5 years, it's just gone like that. And it's now more noticeable than ever. So look, what's your experience of this? I'm hoping that it's not all doom and gloom. Maybe it's just my perspective of it. Maybe it's just my perception of the situation. I'm pretty sure it's not. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this are. How has the UK changed in your lifetime that you've noticed? What do you notice changing around you, whether it's community, whether it's shopping, whether it's healthcare failing? Are there any other cogs in the machine that are perhaps breaking that I've missed? Let me know. Really keen to find out your perspective on this. And yeah, there you go. YouTube's going to put another video there. Like, follow, subscribe, all that jazz. Either watch it or don't. and there'll be another video tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.